Hey Liverpool fans, have you seen the latest release? At AnfieldIndex, we've teamed up with LiverpoolFC to announce that the brand new 24-25 LFC Nike home kit and anthem jacket are out now, and they're hotter than ever. The brand new kit pays homage to the legendary Rome 1984 side, featuring sleek pinstripe detailing that brings a touch of history to our modern game. Whether you're cheering from the Kop or watching from home, you'll feel the spirit of the Reds coursing through every stitch. The best part? You can grab yours today. The new kit and training range are available in official stores, online, and through the LFC store app. Don't wait, order now and be ready to show your Liverpool pride and style. Get your hands on the new 24-25 LFC home kit and anthem jacket today. Let's make this season unforgettable. You'll never walk alone.
It's done.
Connor McDavid! It's not real!
The goal of the year,
Panarin!
part of the past. The celebrations, forgotten. The history,
Vegas Golden Knights!
history. We're back to a blank slate. Clean ice. All that matters now is what happens next. The Stanley Cup playoffs.
Eastern Conference Final begins Wednesday.
Another day is here, and you're ready for it. What to wear? Check. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Check. Planning for what's next and how to save for it? That's where Bank of America can help. For your financial to-dos, Bank of America has experts ready to help get you closer to your goals. Get started at one of our local financial centers or 24/7 in our mobile banking app. Find a location near you at bankofamerica.com/talktous. What would you like the power to do? Mobile banking requires downloading the app and is only available for select devices. Message and data rates may apply. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our quick publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms, and we have our own apps for Apple and Android. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to Newsround. I'm Dave Hendrick and I am here with breaking news. Liverpool have announced Arne Slot as the new manager of the football club, replacing obviously Jurgen Klopp, who made the decision to leave after almost 9 years in the job. We obviously saw the scenes on Sunday where Jurgen said goodbye after winning a Premier League, a Champions League, an FA Cup, 2 League Cups, a Super Cup and a World Club Cup. We were also runners-up in the league twice, Champions League finalists twice, Europa League finalists and League Cup finalists. Jurgen said goodbye in quite an emotional way at Anfield. The emotion was more from the fans towards him. He was holding it together quite well. But all good things come to an end. And now we begin the new era with Arne Slot taking over. So for those who maybe haven't looked up who the manager is going to be, he is 45 years of age. He will turn 46 in September, which makes him, I think, 2 years younger than Jurgen was when he took over. As a player, he played for FC Zwolle, NAC Brada, Sparta Rotterdam, FC Zwolle, and then PEC Zwolle across a 18-year career that saw him play well in excess of 400 games. He played as a midfielder, was never capped at the international level. But following his playing career, he moved into coaching. And his first job was with Cambuur. And he took over there in circumstances where a manager was fired. He was the assistant and he was given the job until the end of the season. And he did very, very well there. 34 games, 21 wins, 6 draws, 7 defeats, scored 75 goals, conceded 31, plus 44 goal difference, and a 61.76 goal difference. At the end of that season, he left Cambuur. he went to AZ Alkmaar to be the assistant manager to John van den Brom. He was assistant to him for 2 years. And then when Van den Brom moved on, he stepped in as manager of Alkmaar. Now, bear in mind, AZ Alkmaar, traditionally not one of the powerhouses in Germany. They did win a title under Louis van Gaal, but generally them and Twente are sort of 4th and 5th in the league. That's generally how it plays out. You've got the big three. Well, you've kind of got a big two. Then you've got Feyenoord. And then you've got Alkmaar and Twente kind of a level below. They finished 4th the year before he took over. Now, technically speaking, they finished 2nd in his one season there. Got to the quarterfinals of the Cup and the round of 32 in the Europa League. But in reality, he was likely going to win the league title with Alkmaar until COVID. They were level on points with Ajax, 56 points from 25 games. They'd won 3 in a row, including a 2-0 win away to Ajax. They were to play Venlo and Groningen away, 2 games that you'd expect them to win. Then they had Vitesse Arnhem and Feyenoord at home, 2 games they would have been expected to win. Then Heracles away, again, a game they'd have been expected to win. Then PSV, who weren't having a particularly good season, at home. Then Fortuna Sittard, then Utrecht, and then Emmen. They were primed to win the league title that year. But the Dutch FA made the decision not to restart the league after the pause for COVID. And he was likely robbed of a league title, which is very, very unfair and would have been an incredibly strong achievement for him. The following season, they begin really well. They lose only 1 of the games he manages that season. But in December, he gets sacked. He doesn't get sacked because they're not doing well. They are doing well. He gets sacked because he has been negotiating with Feyenoord to take over the following season. And Alkmaar decided that they wanted somebody who was more locked in on the job, I suppose. So they played 8 games that year. They'd drawn 4, lost 4. They were unbeaten when he got fired. And he was notably upset about it because, you know, he was committed to Alkmaar for that season because he was under contract to them for that season, but he wasn't contracted to them beyond that. But nonetheless, he was let go and he sat home for 6 months and then took over at Feyenoord. And he took over a Feyenoord team that had finished 5th the year before. Really bad season for Feyenoord to finish outside the top 3. In his first season, he gets them to 3rd. Go out in the second round of the Dutch Cup, but he gets to the final of the Europa Conference League. Now, in the league that year, they played 34 games. They won 22, drew 5, lost 7, scored 76 goals and conceded 34, a plus 42 goal differential. He turned over quite a few in the squad and made big changes because they needed big changes made. In the Europa Conference League, they had to qualify just for the group stage. They beat Drita 3-2 on aggregate, Luzern 6-0 on aggregate, and Elfsborg of Sweden 6-3 on aggregate. Went into a group with Slavia Prague, Union Berlin, and Maccabi Haifa. Won 4 and drew 2, topping the group with 14 points. Then they played Partizan Belgrade. They beat them 8-3 on aggregate. They played Slavia Prague again. They beat them 6-4 on aggregate. And then they played Marseille, and they beat them 3-2 on aggregate. 3-2 win at home and a 0-0 draw away. And that set up a final with Jose Mourinho's Roma. And Feyenoord went 1-0 down on 32 minutes. Zaniolo with the only goal of the game. And as is the way with Mourinho, there was just shithousery after that. So Roma saw out a 1-0 win. The following season, Arne wins the title. They go out in the summer, they make some more moves, they make some more changes, and they roll through the Eredivisie. 34 games, 25 wins, 7 draws, 2 defeats. Scored 81, conceded only 30, plus 51 goal difference, 82 points, won the league by 7 points. That year, they also got to the semi-finals of the Dutch Cup, were beaten by Ajax 2-1, and they got to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Now, they were in the group stage. They topped a group with Midtjylland, Lazio, and Sturm Graz. That was a weird group where everybody won 2, drew 2, and lost 2. They had the same goal difference as Midtjylland, +4, but they scored a goal more. So they topped the group. That drew them Shakhtar Donetsk, a 1-1 draw away, a game that was played in Poland, because obviously what's going on in Ukraine. And then they beat them 7-1 at home in the second leg and went through 8-2 on aggregate. They drew Roma. They went 1-0 up in the first leg. Mats Wiefer scored, took that lead to Rome for the second leg. Spinazzola scored to make it 1-1. Piaxau scored to make it 2-1 for Feyenoord on aggregate. They gave up a late goal to Dybala, 2-2. Had there been away goals, Feyenoord would have gone through, but there wasn't. And Roma scored 2 in extra time to advance. They pushed Roma all the way that season. But that team, some really, really good players, notably Ergin Koku in midfield, who I'm a big fan of. I think he's a super talented player. Sebastian Szymanski in midfield as well, the young Polish playmaker, who's probably 25, 26 now. Polish playmaker, really, really fun player. Danilo Pereira, who's now at Rangers, he was in that team too. Getting goals from all over the place with that team. Obviously, Santiago Jimenez, the primary goal scorer. But you have 6 other players scoring 5 or more goals in the league. So the goals definitely spread out around the team as he leads Feyenoord to a league title with a Feyenoord points record for a single season. And that points record stood for 1 year. And they broke it this year. This year, 34 games, 26 wins, 6 draws, 2 defeats, 92 goals, conceded only 26, plus 66 goal difference, 84 points. Unfortunately for them, PSV just put together an unbelievable season. An unbelievable season. One of the Feyenoord's 2 defeats was to PSV. But they started the season going 2 draws, then 7 wins. One of the games had to be split over 2 days because the Ajax fans went batshit and started ripping the stadium up. They lost to Twente. They won 3 in a row. They lost to PSV. And they went unbeaten from the 3rd of December. Only 4 draws in amongst 17 wins. They were in the Dutch Cup, obviously, and they won the Dutch Cup this year. They beat Utrecht, they beat PSV, they beat AZ Alkmaar, they beat Groningen, they beat NEC. Funnily enough, every game at home, but they still got through every game. PSV is the best win of the season, obviously, because PSV had a great year. In the Champions League, they were drawn with Atletico Madrid, Lazio, and Celtic. They finished 3rd in the group, winning 2 and losing 4. They beat Celtic and Lazio at home and lost the other 4 games. And then once again, they drew Roma. And once again, they came up short. A 1-1 draw in Rotterdam. They went 1 up and Trapaxia Lukaku equalised. They went to Rome. They went 1 up through Jimenez. Pellegrini equalised. Then it went to penalties and they fell short, losing 4-2. So fair to say that Arne has probably had his fill of Roma. Mourinho beat him twice. De Rossi beat him this year. But again, all in all, a really good season for Feyenoord. Second place, cup winner, decent run in a decent run in Europe. I mean, not a great run. Obviously, they got knocked out in at the first whip in both, but it's Feyenoord. It's not like it's a top club in a top league. It's a top club in the Eredivisie. The doubt over Arne is the jump. It's the big doubt. The jump from the Eredivisie is enormous. But what we know about him is he's proven he can win. He plays really, really good football, really attack-minded, very, very similar to De Zerbi in terms of on the ball. Off the ball, he's more from the Guardiola school of control, bodies behind the ball, not taking risks, not gambling. His press, similar to Bielsa's press, similar to Klopp's early press when he first arrived at Liverpool, but transitions quite well. The biggest concern I have is their defence in transition at Feyenoord. Now, I think that can be helped at Liverpool if we get a really good defensive midfielder in. A lot of people want us to buy Wiefer. Go and watch Feyenoord in transition defence and then come back to me on Wiefer. That's the big weakness with him, and it is glaring when you watch them. But he's proven he can develop players. He's proven that he can work to budget. He's proven that he's adaptable. You look at Feyenoord in recent weeks, they've had a lot of injuries, and he's been able to deal with it, bring players in, and keep the team playing the same way. Look, it's a big change. It was always going to be a big change. Jurgen was leaving. There is no other Jurgen. There's no Jurgen out there ready to come in. There was a guy that I think was close, but we decided not to bring him in for whatever reason. They've made the decision to go with Arne Slot. I think it's exciting. I think given the structure that we've put in place, given the squad he inherits, I think everything is there for him to walk in and immediately start to implement his methods. I think next season should be one where we go in feeling confident, not necessarily winning the league. I think that'll be a step too far in year one. But I think of another third place finish, a good run in the Champions League. It wouldn't surprise me if we did very well in the Champions League next year, to be completely honest. And I think we might just throw the cups away next year. I think there might be a decision made within the club to just kind of bounce on the cups next year and focus on the league and the Champions League, and also focus on player fitness and not overtaxing a squad that has this season suffered a lot of injuries. And not just this season, last season suffered a lot of injuries. The year before, a lot of injuries. The year before that, a lot of injuries. I think they will look at trying to minimize the strain and the stress on players, minimize the workload, and focus in on the two big competitions. And I think we'll do quite well in both. I don't think we'll win both, but I do think we'll do quite well in both. And I think then in year two, then I think we can see what he's really made of. I think that'll be the year. Because next year it's going to be about settling in, figuring things out, adapting to the league. He's known to be an obsessive who watches a ton of games. So I would bet he's well versed already in who we're going up against. He's bringing his own staff, people he's comfortable with, people that he's had success with. I note that when he was at Feyenoord, he did employ a sports psychologist. I would hope that's something he's going to do again at Liverpool. I think there's a couple of players, in particular Darwin Núñez, that could do with having a sports psychologist kind of work with them on a regular basis, but others as well. And I'm excited for the next couple of years. I really am. It's tough to see Jurgen go, but it was the right time for him to go. It was. It's better to leave a little bit too early than a little bit too late. Look at what happened to Wenger. If Wenger leaves 3 or 4 years earlier, his reputation is totally different. Totally different. But a lot of people only remember those last few years when he was waffling on about fourth being a trophy and not competing at all in the Premier League. I know they finished second one year, but they didn't compete at all. I think Arne will do well. I think he's got the building blocks in place. left behind by a manager who's overseen a complete restructuring of the club. He's got the best structure possible around him. Great squad of players. There'll be money to spend. This recruitment team, I believe, will go out and nail the summer transfer window. We're hopefully looking at a transfer window like 16-17, where we just absolutely nailed it. With Matip, with Mane, with Wijnaldum, we got one quality piece for each line. One in defence, one in midfield, one in attack. We need that again this summer. We also, like that summer, need a goalkeeper, potentially. Well, no, certainly, because we're losing two. So not necessarily a Karius type this year, more like an Alex McCarthy type, like I said in the Daily Red. And we need a depth centre-back. Maybe someone that's good enough to step in and start, but we brought in Clavan that summer, and Clavan was good for us. Like, he was good for us. There's no way around that. And the Clavan step over / turn will live forever. So yeah, it's official. Arne Slot is the new Liverpool manager, and Jurgen's already given us the chant for him. So here we go.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at AnfieldIndex and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
Sports Social Podcast Network.